Hi, my name is seancowgill. Welcome to Club Fed True Stories. Today's video is going to be about should you hire a prison consultant and should you hire a private attorney, instead of a public defender. The quick answer is no, don't hire either one unless you're rich and you can afford it. But I'm going to get into why. And I don't want to just say no, don't hire them all at once. Because there are some good ones and there are some bad ones, and I'm going to mention one guy's name you definitely don't want to hire. Piece of shit, pompous asshole, will take your money, and I'll mention his name in just a minute. Before I do that, hit subscribe, hit the like button. When you hit subscribe, hit that bell notification, hit all, share the video to Twitter, share it to Facebook, and leave me some comments, especially for this video. Because look, I'm not a prison consultant. I'm just a guy who's been to federal prison, and he's got it out, and I've gotten through it, and I went to a camp in Florence, Colorado, and I'm making these videos to help people that have been indicted, facing prison time, on pretrial, or you're about to get indicted. And if you're anything like me, I was scared. I was very scared. I'd never been to prison before. I'm a white collar guy. I did wire fraud. My crime was wire fraud, but it was false tax preparations. So I found a whole bunch of homeless people and drug addicts, and I did tax returns for them, and I lied on their paperwork. I got them all big fat refunds. I took 20%, gave them 80%. Now I owe the government all the money. They get to keep their refunds, and I owe the government $1.7 million. And well, you live and learn. Well, I was on pretrial for 4 years, and that was worse than the prison. I finally got everything down to a 52-month prison sentence. I did 27 months, a little more than half of that, because I did the RDAP program, and that gave me a year off. They gave me 6 months halfway house, plus your good time. And the First Step Act kicked in, and I got an extra little time for that. Now I'm on probation time, because after you get out, now you're on supervised release, so that's for 3 years. I've been out about a year. I got one to go. Hopefully these videos are going to help people. Listen, I didn't have any money to hire a prison consultant. Didn't even know what one was. But when the 4 years I spent on pretrial, I had a lot of time to look on YouTube and Google up federal prison camp, federal pretrial. I found out about RDAP program. That'll take some time off. All the stuff. Am I going to go to prison? Am I not going to go to prison? What my case is, wire fraud, what am I looking at? Googling my name, just going crazy looking for answers. So I found out there's these prison consultant guys. And there's quite a few of them out there. There's not a whole lot of them on YouTube, but there's enough. So I'm going to give you two names of prison consultants that helped me. I had no money to hire them, okay? Basically, any money I had, the government froze all my bank accounts. I was going to hire a real attorney. Actually, I had enough in the beginning to give an attorney $5,000, and all they did really was make a couple calls to the marshal, to the IRS for me in the Treasury Department after they raided my house, and they didn't do much for me. They did get a couple of my laptops back that they took for evidence, and then all my bank accounts were frozen. Everything I had no money. So basically I was poor, and I was working as a waiter at a place called Rainforest Cafe down on Fisherman's Wharf while I was on pretrial, and I was driving Lyft. I had to go through an alcohol and drug program to stay out in the free world while I was fighting my case, because I have a history with that. That's what got me the RDAP program. So the RDAP program, if you want to know how to get into that, first of all, you had to have a problem with alcohol and drugs before you got busted. Okay, I think technically at least a year before you got indicted or before you got arrested, you need to prove you had an alcohol and drug problem. Well, since I had been caught for like little quarter grams of cocaine here and there, and did, 30 days in jail for a quarter gram of cocaine, it was on my record. And then when I, so I didn't really have to prove anything, but there's if you're not a drug addict, if you're not an alcoholic, don't rip off the system, man. I'm sorry, dude. Don't lie. There are ways to lie and get the RDAP program, and you can go pay a prison consultant 20 grand, and they can lie for you. And good luck with that. The program's for people who need help. Okay. Now I know there's a lot of guys who drink. Alcohol's big. Okay. But I was in that program with guys who told me, "Hey, Sean, I never had a drink in my life." Man, I mean, we're friends and all, but, you took that away from somebody who really needed the program. But it is what it is. So there's some prison consultants out there who will rip you off and take your money and tell you anything they're going to promise you to get an RDAP and don't believe them. There's ways to get in without having anything so I got arrested for a quarter gram when I had it on my evidence. There's ways. You can go see a therapist, and even pre-trial will pay for you to see therapy, and you could tell her you had a drug and alcohol problem or an alcohol problem before you got busted. You can have that therapist write it down on paper and submit it to the probation and to the courts, and it can get put in your pre-sentence report, and you can do that. You can go to a doctor and say the same thing. You can go, you could, I don't know. There's other ways to do it, but if you're truly an alcoholic or drug addict, that's going to be in your pre-sentence report, okay? If you have to lie, don't even watch my video, okay? I'm not here to help you lie to get into RDAP, Go away. You deserve what you got. You're already trying to cheat the system. You're already trying to lie. Look, you got a lot to learn. There's one thing I did learn in RDAP. You need to be held accountable for your actions. I did my crime. I'm guilty. I did my time, and I'm trying to turn my life around. And if you're thinking, well, I'll do anything to get into the RDAP, I'll lie, I'll cheat, I'll steal, you deserve to go to prison. Just the way it is. I hate to be hard, but that's the way it is. Let me tell you, two guys that are prison consultants that helped me for free because I had no money. The first one is Walt Pavlow. He runs, he's got a website called Prisonology. If you go on that website, there's a lot of useful information. He has character reference letters and personal narrative letters, and there's stuff in there about RDAP and how to get in and all that. Really good website. Walt Pavlow answered the phone. He had a bunch of videos out at the time, and he answered the phone when I called, and I told him I got no money, but I had these questions about, going to prison, all that. And he took the time to answer my questions, and he took the time to get to know me over the 4 years I was on pretrial. And when I went to prison, he put $100 on my books every month for the whole 27 months that I was in federal prison. I still talk to Walt to this day. I love that man. I mean, he helped me so much. Another good guy is RDAP Dan. Both these guys have been to federal prison themselves. They got out, and now they're trying to help people. RDAP Dan's a stand-up guy. RDAP Dan answered the phone. We got to know each other while I was on federal prison, while I was on pretrial. RDAP Dan also put some money on my books. He has these videos he does on YouTube, and he passed the hat on some live stream videos, and people pitched in, and he put like $50 on my books one time, I think another 50, and I talked to RDAP Dan today. Both of those guys are stand-up guys. They'll help you for free. Now, I'm not trying to ruin their business or anything, but if you call them and say, "I got no money, but I have these questions," and they'll talk to you, man. They'll talk to you. There's a lot of useful information on YouTube. If you want to spend hundreds of hours watching all the questions you have, you can find that and you can do it. Or you can hire a prison consultant, and they can send you all the documents and forms and get you started and run you through the whole process and hold your hand through it. Or you could do the work yourself, or you could send me a comment and you could talk and I can answer your questions. I'm just making these videos for free. I'm hoping to get 1,000 subscribers and maybe get a little money from YouTube, but I'm not trying to get your money. So please feel free, send me a comment. Walt and RDAP Dan aren't going to like what I'm going to say next. but having been in the federal prison camp, there was a lot of guys that hired prison consultants because, you know, we're all white-collar criminals kind of in there, and they got money to hire these guys. Here's the name. Do not hire this guy, Justin Papperny. Okay? I know RDAP Dan and Walt, you guys, I know that's your buddy, but I'm going to tell you, there's a guy named Jason Min and David Min. It's a father and son who went to prison. They're Korean-American guys. Justin, his father, David, didn't speak any English, only Korean. And Justin called his son, Jason, like at least 10 times, hounding him on the phone while they were on pretrial, saying, if you don't give me $10,000, I'll get your son kicked. He'll never get into RDAP, and he doesn't speak English, and you need to hire me, you need to hire me. He did get through RDAP, Justin, and he didn't speak a word of English, but as he went through it, guys like me pulled him aside, and we taught him how to speak English, and RDAP worked with him, and he got through RDAP, and I met at least 6 or 7 other guys that hired Justin, and they said all he did was answer the phone a couple times and talk to him and told them it took their $10,000 and told them, as soon as you go to prison, don't even contact me because we're done. You know, that's the end of the service. The guy just really pisses me off. He does have some good videos. His videos are worth it. I don't know what kind of clients he gets. I know he got that Lori Loughlin. I'm sure he bent over backwards kissing her ass. He probably did the work for her. But I sent him some emails and stuff. Told him I was broke, but can you answer this one question for me? He never even returned my calls. So I'm sorry. I just had to put that out. But fuck that Justin Papperny guy. The other 2 guys, stand-up guys. Stand-up guys. So that's enough of my rant on prison consultants. If you've got the money, if you've got, you know, if you're a white-collar guy and you got $100,000 in the bank, and go spend $10,000 on a prison consultant. It's probably worth it for you. They're going to hold your hand. They're going to do a lot of paperwork for you. They're going to help you through. Or if you don't have the money, just watch all the YouTube videos. Call me. You talk to me. Talk to guys like me that'll talk to you for free. And I can give you some links and stuff on the websites where you can get copies of all the paperwork you need to see what you're doing. And then it all comes down to your lawyer. So my advice is do not hire a lawyer. Use a public defender. They're not really going to give, most times they don't give you a public defender. They give you a court-appointed attorney. Because usually there's more than one person on your case. So I started off with a public defender, but I had 5 co-defendants. There was actually 9 co-defendants in the beginning, but ended up with 5. And we all got our own private attorneys. And I kept getting these conflict of interest cases, so they kept switching attorneys on me because I was the leader. So they had to sentence everybody else first. Nobody could get more time than me. I had to get the most time. And so one of them was my girlfriend who tried to wear a wire and come in and get me to talk. And I had already told him everything. And then she told me, I was wearing a wire. I go, I know you were. I don't care. That's the way that world works. But so the attorneys that they gave me, the last one was pretty much worthless. All I was doing was waiting to get sentenced. So there was a conflict of interest, and they switched lawyers on me. This guy I didn't really like, but the first 2 were good. Even the public defender. So I went through 4. The public defender guy was he worked for me. They're not overworked like a state. Like if you have a state case and those public defenders, unless you get one fresh out of law school, they're really not eager to help you. But the federal public defenders, they work for you. They're not overwhelmed with cases because cases take years in the feds. So they've got the time to do the work. And the court-appointed ones they give you are all pretty good. And they will work for you. Sometimes you got to push them to work for you. But when it comes to the feds, you're not going to win the case. If you look at all those people that the Democrats went after on Trump's buddies, and they all had big money, that Flynn guy, I don't know how many, he sold all his houses and everything. The guy's broke hiring attorneys, and his case still isn't over. When the feds want you, they will get you. Okay, if you've been indicted, you're going to prison. I mean, there's a small chance you might get probation or get dropped, but I doubt it. they've got a 94% conviction rate. So that little 6% chance it's not going to be you. I hate to tell you, it's not going to be you. You're going to go to prison. But the thing is, how long? You know, if you go spend $80,000, that's what an attorney wanted from me. And that didn't include all the trials and everything. That was just to represent me and go to court with me, but not to go to trial with me. That was going to be more money. They don't make deals like on a state case. You can win that. O.J. Simpson won his case, but that was a state case. He never won a federal case. When you're fighting the federal government, it's something completely different. Save your money and use that for your family. Use that for yourself. It costs money. I mean, you could spend $1,000 a month in prison. You could spend, they only let you spend like $350 a month on commissary, but just to buy, your things that you need to live with, all your shampoo and your food and your clothes. You got to buy clothes there. Believe it or not, they'll give you some, but shoes. I mean, you're going to spend money in there. I got videos on ways, if you don't have money, on how to make money in there. Legal ways too. And I was lucky. Walt Pavlow put $100 on my books every day. I got some of my family that actually forgave me and are in my life today. And they sent little bits of money here, $20, $50. Our dad Dan pitched in a little. And I got friends in Alcoholics Anonymous who sent me money because I decided to start changing my life before I went to prison. Now I get to go through prison. I started AA meetings while I was in there. Watched that video. And I'm in recovery today. I'm in a clean and sober living house in Mountain View. And I got laid off from a restaurant because of this pandemic. So I'm on unemployment. I'm making these videos. I'm trying to help the guy that's going through it. Like I say in all my videos, you're not going to get beat up. You're not going to have to be anybody's bitch, and you don't have to join a gang if you're going to a camp or you're going to a low. So these videos are for the white-collar, non-violent criminals. You don't have to be white-collar. There's a lot of drug dealers that get caught. And as long as you weren't using a gun and it's non-violent, you can go to a camp too. There's lots of you guys there. And you guys are good guys. You can be. We all can be. So my advice is don't hire a fancy, expensive lawyer. Use a public defender. The prison consultant guys, if you've got the extra money, don't spend 20 grand on one. All right, I told you, I don't even want to say his name, but don't call him. RDAP Dan, Walt Pavlow, Google their names, YouTube their names, or call me, talk to me. I'm not one. I will help you for free. Leave the comment, subscribe, hit the like, share this to Facebook. Thank you for listening. Watch some more videos. Tell your friends. Have a great night.